Hey, how are you? I'm Slice of Otaku, and yet again, I am left questioning the crystal gems, and more specifically, rose quartz. With the episode Your Mother and Mine, despite being provided with the apparent origins of Rose's rebellion meant to inspire the off-colors into following the crystal gem way, I feel more disenfranchised than ever. And it all boils down to a lack of trust. The reason Garnet decided to share the story of Rose's rebellion was in order to counteract the propaganda regarding Rose that Homeworld seems to have spread around. I mean, they even go as far as to portray her to be the gem equivalent of the Antichrist. So Garnet discouraging the way they tell the story on Homeworld goes on to tell her own story. And a story it truly is. As you must realize that at the time, both Ruby and Sapphire were servants of Homeworld, only becoming crystal gems after Blue Diamond came to Pink Diamond's aid. So any information we received from her prior to her own involvement in the rebellion must be something that she was told, in the same vein that Homeworld told its subjects. The only gem that could accurately provide all of this prior information would be Rose herself. Now, at this point in the series, we know not to completely trust Rose, as she was known to keep a multitude of secrets even from her most trusted comrades. And there were also aspects of bias mixed into this story that Garnet tells. Firstly, her denoting Pink's laugh to be a wicked, empty sound, serving to depict Pink Diamond to be this soulless monster, seemingly in order to emphasize the likability of Rose Quartz in comparison. Then, Garnet even refers to Pink Diamond as a coward for seeking the aid of her fellow diamonds, which I don't understand in the slightest. At the beginning of this flashback, Garnet notes that this is Pink Diamond's first colony, ergo, she's inexperienced in such matters, and this also happens to be a rebellion of gems, which is unprecedented. To do otherwise and not seek the aid of your experienced comrades would be utter idiocy, and if she hadn't, there would be no Garnet to begin with, so. But yeah, the reason I'm highlighting this bias is due to how different it makes this flashback to that which is present in the episode The Answer. There is no bias present within The Answer, only facts, which immediately makes it a whole lot more trustworthy than the game of telephone we play with the words of Rose Quartz in the episode Your Mother and Mine. Something else that perplexed me is just how little Rose knew of her adversaries, and by extension, her own kind. You see, Rose Quartz was made on Earth, and also staged her rebellion rather than continuing the work on the planet she was intended to do. At no point during this time frame does she ever visit the home planet of her species. The Earth is all she has ever known, making her all the more susceptible to its allure. And after destroying an injector and donning the attire we most associate her with, above the Strawberry Battlefield is where Rose is said to have recruited Pearl, stating that if they fight, they can never go home. So here, she regards Homeworld as home despite never going there. Then, in the episode We Need to Talk, Greg asks Rose if she ever misses her home planet, to which she responds, no, never. Which, if we strictly keep this current information in mind, is like, duh, you've never been there to begin with, so how could you miss it? So, Rose's comprehension of her own species is limited in that regard. And when following a leader, especially one leading a rebellion, you'd think that they would know exactly what they're rebelling against in the first place. But that's if Rose even told Garnet the true story to begin with, which I don't think that she did. Firstly, depicting Pink Diamond to be this fearsome monstrosity is inaccurate because right now, we know her to be a childish, funny-looking dork. And when Rose refers to Homeworld as home on multiple occasions, there is certainly a discrepancy here. And we know from our limited time on Homeworld that the off-colors were actually residing within Pink Diamond's abandoned kindergarten present on Homeworld. So it's quite possible that Rose Quartz was actually created here. Next, when Rose Quartz stands before Pink Diamond urging her to spare the Earth, can you truly blame Pink Diamond for disregarding the ill-informed thoughts of an infant? Like, let's say that Pink Diamond did follow what Rose was saying here and simply moved on to another planet instead. Rose would want her to spare any preceding worlds as well, due to the simple fact that she apparently valued all life. By following Rose Quartz, Homeworld and everything it does and has done for countless millennia would have been ran into the ground. Pink Diamond may have been depicted to be monstrous in this instance, but there is truth to her words. There is a reason why Homeworld invades planets with a presence of life. They require such conditions so that they themselves may produce more gems. To deny such proceedings is to deny the creation of further gems. So, in essence, Rose Quartz is valuing the lives of other organisms over her own species, which corroborates the observations of Lapis Lazuli in the episode Ocean Gem, which, disregarding our own preconceived notions about Homeworld or the Crystal Gems, and just looking at that at face value, just sounds like next level blasphemy. Survival of the fittest is a simple law of nature to which the gem species outclasses everything we know of on a multitude of levels. Above all else, expansion is the role they must all play in unity. Rose Quartz, having cared for humans to such a degree, could no longer fit into this mold and sought a way out. That much is clear. But you must once again remember that we have seen things regarding Pink Diamond that others such as Garnet have not. The human zoo is no prison, nor is it a collection of trophies. It is the pampering and cultivation of a species that once faced the threat of extinction. These are practices that humans of today conduct in order to preserve an endangered species. To do such a thing, one typically must have empathy towards such creatures and know how to properly tend to their needs. Pink Diamond is the only one who could make this call to begin with, so it is impossible that she didn't value human life. And when I say value, I don't mean for her own monetary gain or anything, but out of kindness or admiration in the same way that Rose Quartz did. With this story, Rose Quartz is made out to be this extraordinary, one-of-a-kind gem, but I'm doubtful of that being an accident, and not the intention of Pink Diamond, which I've made multiple theories on in the past, so check those out if you haven't. With the episode Rose's Scabbard, Pearl is distraught due to the thought that Rose would keep lying a secret from her, and when Garnet states that Rose kept many secrets, Pearl exclaims that she was the one exception. And now, another way to phrase that would be, yeah, she lied to your faces about a ton of stuff, but she'd still tell me, and I would never tell you. And you have to think that this tale of Rose Quartz fails to properly implement Pearl to a noticeable degree, despite her being so heavily trusted. Pearl, even if we disregard the possibility of her once being possessed by a diamond, was a fancy Pearl, as stated by Peridot. There must be a reason as to why such a Pearl wouldn't be attending a Homeworld Elite, be present on Earth, meet Rose Quartz, be above the Strawberry Battlefield before any such battle occurs because Bismuth and Garnet were both a part of the fight, and this is where and when the prospect of fighting in the first place is even brought up, with Rose Quartz already in rebellion attire. And on top of all of that, this conversation between Pearl and Rose is clearly not their first. It seems that Pearl at this point has already cemented her dedication to Rose. So to bring it all back, I don't think that Garnet is lying, no, but I do think that she herself has been lied to. And just like a Homeworld gem, has been spreading the falsehoods of her gracious leader unknowingly. And this is gonna become a problem. I mean, we have thoroughly established that characters in this show do not like being lied to. Steven blew up over it in regards to Pink Diamond. Pearl blew up over it in regards to Lion, which in retrospect may have been a bit hypocritical. And Garnet blew up over it from being made to fuse under false pretenses, creating a divide in the team for a while. And honestly, it looks as if this will inevitably occur once again between Garnet and Pearl, because Garnet has fought and lived by these words for thousands of years non-stop and has cemented her very being in this whole Crystal Gem ideology that you're supposed to lay everything down for this fight. And as expressed by Cartoon Network themselves, we will in fact bear witness to internal strife between the Crystal Gems. And to me, it's rather clear as to why now. But yeah guys, I guess the moral of the story is try your best not to trust pathological liars, especially not with your life. And I want to know what you're all thinking about this, because even before, Rose Quartz was already pretty questionable to me, but now it's just downright ugly. Thank you all so much for watching and have an awesome day. I love you.